got the touch. You got the power.
What's up, everybody? Jkun here, and I am back from MAGfest. I am absolutely exhausted. I haven't even been home 24 hours yet. My feet are absolutely destroyed, but hey, that's my own fault. I'm fat and out of shape. But anyway, I just wanted to do a vlog. Just kind of not really going over the entire convention as a whole, but just kind of my experience. I have my list right here, and I thought I'd kind of, you know, fancy up the vlog a little bit. I haven't done one in a while because obviously I haven't been going to many events lately due to like work, money, and other prior obligations, stuff like that. So I wanted to make this vlog maybe just a hair bit fancier than me just sitting in the room and talking about things. So let's go ahead and get started. Those of you that don't know what MAGfest is basically a internet music and video game convention, and it's a little different from the other ones because most conventions are about 3 days. This one's 4 days, and I think this year it was actually kind of 5 technically. It's normally done at the beginning or the middle of January, but they actually changed things up this year, and it was actually in the middle of February this year. I feel like that kind of hurt the convention a little bit because it was literally the weekend right after one of the big anime conventions of the year, which was Jkun, which ironically was held in the exact same place. But once the wheels kind of got turning for the convention and everything, stuff really started to pick up. But for those of you that are curious about it, I definitely suggest you check out the website. The website should actually be right behind me on the picture and everything. There is something literally for everybody to do at this convention, and it's one of the big reasons why I suggest it so much. Let's kind of go down the details here. 24-hour game rooms. From the start to the end of the convention, the game rooms are running non-stop. If you're a console gamer, cool. They got a whole section of a room totally devoted to console games, old and new. There's something in there for everybody. It was absolutely awesome. The vendor's room, where you can go and buy some swag and stuff like that. They stay open pretty much the entire time too. However, that one operates a little differently. The owners of the booths and everything that are selling the merchandise, they can stay open if they want to, but if not, they can close down, go get some food, get some sleep, something like that. But the option for them to stay open from bell to bell, beginning to end basically, is totally there. And then you can pretty much go in, shop around, peruse, and all that type of stuff, or you can wait until the last day and maybe try and score a couple deals at lower prices. Because there is a bit of a markup, because hey, people need to make a profit. I mean, a lot of these vendors, like, this is what they do for a living, so naturally there's a bit of a markup, because I mean, they need to be able to keep the lights on. Let's see, what else? Panels, events galore. If you like internet stuff, they got panels for you. If you like game show type stuff, they got panels for you. Hell, if you just love nostalgia and want to relive your childhood by revisiting some of the old Saturday morning cartoons, they even got something for you as well. And if none of that strikes your fancy, you're just here, you like music, you love listening to music, you love video game music, they got you covered there too, because they literally had concerts running the entire time, and we'll be touching on one of those later on in this video. And then one of the personal things that I really love about this convention is the fact of how easy it is for me. Because when I go to MAGfest, I go there to network. I go there like I'm YouTube personality, albeit not a very big one, and then I have a Twitch channel, which I hope you guys have been watching, twitch.tv/JkunUnleash. Shameless plug. Yay. I go there to network, kind of spread word of the channel, try and gather more viewers and stuff like that, and then you also get a chance to talk to a lot of these people that are in the same running as you are, but they've either been at it longer, they've been a little more successful at it than you have been, and you really get a chance to kind of pick their brains and everything. 99% of them are more than willing to sit there and talk shop with you, and one of them in particular, which will be getting a very special shout out in this video, we'll be touching on in a little bit. So it's really a great opportunity for you to experience a lot of really cool things very firsthand. So before I go into my experience, let's go into kind of the pros and cons. Which I guess you could say that was the pros. So let's kind of go into the bad things that kind of happened. Not a whole lot, and it's nothing that can't really be fixed without just a little, common sense and forethought on the behalf of the people that were actually doing it. And then other one is just honestly, I didn't really enjoy it because of, personal life choices and things of that sort. By the end of day 2, my feet were killing me. I actually woke up Saturday morning with a layer of skin missing off my toe, where I apparently had developed a blister, and the blister had burst throughout the night. Again, that's on me. Me fat, out of shape, and I work a job where I'm sitting the majority of the time. So walking around over the course of an entire weekend, virtually non-stop, yeah, that's going to cause some damage. So that's completely on me. One of the other things that I don't really dig about the convention as a whole, and good God, now the phone's going off. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and quiet that down, shall we? That part I'll just leave in. Why not? Anyway, I feel like if you're not a drinker, you're not a imbiber of alcohol like I am. It's just personal choice. I don't really care to partake in the stuff. There's really not. I feel like you miss out on quite a bit of the convention because if you don't really participate in the consumption of alcohol, a lot of things can wind up getting cut off to you. Whether it be you just decide not to be around it, or you wind up kind of getting excluded because you don't drink. I feel like that's kind of a bad thing. But again, that's really not on anybody. That's just how I perceive it, just simply because I choose not to drink. I choose not to partake in that stuff. So that's really nobody's fault. But nevertheless, it's one of those things where I kind of feel the need to mention it in case somebody like me decides to go check out this place for the very first time, and they wind up kind of wandering around bored because, well, there's nothing to do right now but drink. That's not true. Just check out the schedule. I promise you'll find something to do. There's a lot of social awkwardness at the conventions nowadays, and it was very, very prevalent this year. And that's not the convention's fault, and it's not the guest's fault. It's not my fault. It's not your fault. Depending on who you are, let's be fair here. I feel like this is just kind of a product of how life is nowadays. Social media is a very, very big thing, and it cuts a lot of the personal interaction that you would get with most people that you would even just a few years ago. So people tend to act a certain way online. Some are incredibly nice, some kind of take the trolley route and stuff like that. And that tends to bleed through into real life when you go to social gatherings such as this. The best example I could possibly give is I was in a autograph session line to go meet some personalities, get an autograph, maybe get a picture or two or something like that. And the line hadn't really started yet, so everybody was just kind of hanging out, congregating a little bit. But staff security was asking us very politely, I might add, that look, lineups haven't started yet. If you want to hang out, we can't stop you from doing that, but just do us a favor and don't block the walkways, don't overcrowd the place. If you're going to hang out, just kind of hang out near the wall. And I was like, okay, right on, this is not a big deal. So I hung out near the wall, and I wound up having a little powwow with a group of the people there that I actually wound up becoming friends with, which was really, really cool. But as people started figuring out why we were sitting there, more people naturally kind of joined in. But there was those people that, you could just see it on their face that they wanted to go to the event too, and that's perfectly fine. And just the absolute disgust on their face that they weren't there first. That some people just decided to camp out a little bit longer than them. And it was like they would just start forming lines wherever they wanted so they could have their chance to kind of bum rush the door and beat everybody in. And I felt like that was a little disrespectful because, even me personally, I wasn't there, but only a couple hours. But there had been people there since 8 that morning just waiting for this one event, for their one chance to go meet who we were going to go meet. And I felt like that was very rude to the people that had been doing that. To the point that security had come out there like 5 or 6 times and told these people to please stop blocking the walkways, quit forming your own lines, that it was up to them who came in first, so on and so forth. And it was written clear as day on the signs next to the doors. And it's people, like, they would look at it like they were goldfish. They had no idea what they were looking at, and if they knew what they were looking at, they didn't care. They completely ignored it and just kept doing what they were doing. To the point that I started getting a little heated. And I basically, like, started helping out security, like, hey, everybody get near the wall. The lines haven't formed yet, so don't bother forming a line, to the point that, like, something just popped in the head, and I was just kind of like, okay, they're clearly not listening. Get mean. And it kind of devolved into, hey, these people have been waiting here significantly longer than you have. If you try to get in before they do, we will make damn sure you don't get in at all. And good lord, people really snapped to attention then, and I feel like that's kind of sad that it had to go to that point in order for just people to listen to reason. And it wasn't even a completely unreasonable request. They were creating a fire hazard. You're blocking entrances and exits. I mean, like, the people that you wanted to see wouldn't have been even been able to get in, and that's absolutely horrible. And I understand the whole point of being starstruck and wanting to meet some people that you admire, you look up to, they've helped you out through tough times. Like, I've been there. Like, there were people at this convention that, if I had done nothing else that entire weekend and had just met them, I'd have been okay with the entire weekend. I totally get it, guys, but I mean, God, you should really, I don't want to, like, be like, you guys need to take classes in, like, social interaction or something like that, but just take a second, step back, assess the situation, consider your common man for just a couple seconds. And I really feel like events like this would be a lot smoother, it would be a lot calmer. One of the big things that appealed to me about MAGfest in the first place is that it wasn't a madhouse like the anime conventions were turning out to be. And now MAGfest is starting to have the exact same problems that the anime conventions are having. And I really don't want to see MAGfest go to that route, that I just ultimately don't want to go anymore, because it's just asking to step into a realm of complete shit where everybody is an asshole. And this can only wind up making things worse if things continue to go that way, to where people like guests, celebrities, personalities, so on and so forth, don't want to show up to the events anymore if you continue to act this way. So this is the only time I'm really going to rant about it. It's the only time I'm going to plead with you guys to just kind of please think twice before you act. Like, you're not behind a keyboard, you don't have that anonymity to save you. Be polite. Think of your think of the man next to you. Just treat people the way you would want to be treated. And let's go ahead and end the rant there. The last thing, and this is one thing that, like, I kind of blame the convention, but at the same time I kind of don't, because it could totally be on the personality that's there. It could be their prerogative, not the convention, and the convention's just kind of doing what they're told. Me, I'm not a big autograph kind of guy. With me, autographs are just something that eventually it'll get misplaced, it'll get tarnished. There can be certain things that you keep for sentimental values, but with me, an autograph is something like, okay, this is either going to get lost or busted, or the autograph is going to fade over time, or I'll look at it, and depending on what it is, I wonder how much money I can get for this. Autographs don't mean a whole lot to me. Now, that's just me. I much prefer having a photograph with said person that, like, I want to meet. And for the most part, like, throughout the weekend, like, I was able to get accommodated with that, but there were times where I was having to sit in these autograph lines, And I don't like waiting hours on end to just interact with somebody for a few seconds. That's never really my thing. But that's sometimes the only thing you really can do if you want to meet this person. And when you're sitting there 2 hours, 3 hours, some of these people were sitting there all day. Some of these people were sitting there like all night just to make sure that they can meet their idols. And you roll up to them and you tell them no photographs whatsoever. And you see a third of that line leave. Just upset. Some of them completely in tears. That's really, really shitty. And for someone like me, like, not everybody's gonna handle it the same way I will, where, like, I'll have a brief moment of anger and then I just kind of just go, oh well, and I move on. Some of these people, like, were absolutely crushed that they couldn't get pictures with some of these people. And I kind of sympathize with them. Like, one of them I didn't get pictures with at all, but I didn't stress it too much because I'd gotten pictures with them once before. But one of them in particular, which I'll touch on later, I will probably never get to meet them again. And the fact that they were like, no photographs, like, I couldn't help myself. I was like, God damn it, type of thing. And I guess they heard it, and enough people squawked about it that they eventually rescinded the thing, like, yeah, you can have a quick selfie with them if you want. And I was like, okay, well, I'll take that. I'll take that. But, again, that's really not on the convention. That could very well be on the person that's doing all the autographs. If they say they don't want pictures, then the con has no choice but to just sit there and go, okay, no pictures. But nevertheless, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you tell people this, and you wind up wasting their time that they could have spent doing something else and having a better time at the convention. And it just struck a nerve with me, so I felt the need to mention it. But enough bad stuff. Let's just talk about my experience with the convention. So let's go ahead and move over to our first slide here. That I'm hoping is the right one because I was an idiot and did not label these things beforehand. The Mega Marathon, or the Mega Man-a-thon. This was the 4th time they had done it. It's no secret I'm a big Mega Man fan. Hell, for Valentine's Day I got the Mega Man headphones. These things are awesome. But every year they do this big charity stream where they go through like all of the Mega Man games, or they go through the custom-made Mega Man games, and they do it the entire weekend. So I feel like I always have this little safety net when I go to MAGfest. Like, if I'm completely bored, well, just walk down there and watch some people play Mega Man. You like Mega Man. So I chit-chatted with the guys doing the Mega Man-a-thon, and it was completely for charity. They had chances to win some cool prizes, like they had the Mega Man helmet, they had the Mega Buster and everything up for grabs for these like charity raffles and everything, and it was actually a ton of fun. And I found myself there multiple times, just kind of sitting, chilling out, letting my feet heal momentarily, and just relaxing and watching some dude just like completely destroy a Mega Man game in a speed run, and it was just absolutely a blast. Alright, so what's the next one? Yes. Personally, hands down, one of my favorite moments of the entire convention. Little V Mills. For those of you that don't know who Little V Mills, I'll definitely put a link to his YouTube down in the description below. He does heavy metal video game music, and he is one of the most talented musicians I've seen. And he kind of announced, like, near the end, like right, maybe like the day or two before MAGfest, that, hey, I'm actually coming to MAGfest. And I just happened to luck out and see him walking down the vendor's hall at just the right time, and I got to shoot the shit with him, pick his brain a little bit, and he was an absolutely awesome dude. And I wound up running into him again the very next day, waiting for the Super Best Friends Play panel. And I actually saw him in line, and I was like, dude, get over here. So I let him cut me in line and everything, so he didn't have to wait as long and everything. Hung out with me throughout the entire panel. We stayed from beginning to end. He told me so many different things about his craft and how he approaches things. Gave me a lot of really good advice on how to do some of the things that I do. and just overall, like, just wound up becoming a really, really awesome friend. It really sucks that I won't be able to get to keep in touch with him as much as I like, because we actually do live in entirely different countries. So that kind of puts a hinder on things, and he's not big on social media outside of like Twitter and YouTube. And me and him both know that, like, kind of keeping in touch with people on YouTube, not a really good idea. But I won't lie, just kind of out of like boredom, and my feet were already starting to hurt and everything, I was going to leave that Friday. Because, like, I can't really afford to have, like, multiple days of just, like, trying to feel better when I would have to go to work when I come back. And if it hadn't been for him hanging out with me for the majority of Friday, I probably would have left. So, definitely big shout-outs to Little V Mills. You're an awesome dude. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. You didn't have to. You took the time out. And just... you were a really, really awesome dude, and I'm glad to call you a friend, so thank you very much. But let's talk about the Super Best Friends for a little bit. So, their panel started off, they're big wrestling fans. Anyone that's watched the WrestleMania video series that they've done on YouTube, youtube.com/theswitcher. I'll also put their link in the comments, in the description below, so you can check them out as well. Riotously funny. These guys are absolutely hilarious. They came out and they just kind of went over some of the stuff that they did throughout the year and started hinting at some of the stuff that they'll be doing later. And it was just, it was the first panel of theirs that I sat through from beginning to end, and I'm damn glad I did. So I can't wait to run into those guys one more time. I got to sit there and shoot the shit with Wooly for a little bit, because Wooly and I actually share a mutual friend in Maximilian. Shout outs to Maximilian, youtube.com/miles923. Let me stop plugging people like that. But I got to sit there and just shoot the shit with Wooly for a little bit. For those of you that aren't aware of who Wooly is, he's the dude on the far left. So definitely check him out at youtube.com/theswitcher. They are absolutely a blast to listen to and watch. So let's see what we got next on the agenda here. Hey Ash, what you playing? Now, I didn't get a chance to check out their panel, but Hey Ash, what you playing was actually brought to my attention through my friend Drew. And after he showed it to me, I instantly got hooked. They do like little short 2-3 minute videos that kind of have a theme to a game, and then just shenanigans ensue between Anthony and Ashley, who are actually brother and sister, and then sometimes their dad joins the fray, and it winds up being side-splittingly funny. But a lot of people may or may not know. I'm going to go with the assumption that you don't know. Anthony, on the left, he had a lot of hands-on with the Borderlands series. Like, he had he worked on the games. And then Ashley, she's done a lot of voiceover work. She was Tiny Tina in the Borderlands series, and then my personal favorite, she was actually the voice of Cassie Cage in Mortal Kombat X. So I got to meet them at like the little meet and greet or whatever, and they were kind enough to let me get a picture with them and everything, and I handed her the copy of MKX to sign, and she was like, nobody has given me this to sign yet. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't know that it was you. And she was like, well, how did you know? I was like, IMDb almost never lies. And she thought that was really awesome. She let me shake her hand, give her a hug and all that, and like let me take a picture and everything. So like, I'm really, really happy that I got that experience to meet those kind of people. And I really hope I get to meet them again. So, moving right along. So we get down to the concert part of my experience. There were tons of concerts going on the entire time, but I knew Ninja Sex Party was going to be coming. However, the group down below on this picture, Tupperware Remix Party, I only knew a little bit about them because Danny, the guy in the blue up there, if you don't know, he did a song with them called The Hit, and I thought The Hit was an absolutely awesome song and everything. And Tupperware Remix Party actually opened for Ninja Sex Party, and if you're friends with me on Facebook or you follow me on Twitter, the pictures should be up by now of like some of the photos I took during the show. And I gotta admit, for a band that I knew next to nothing about, I really dug their sound, and they blew the roof off the damn place. But that was just a taste of things to come, because Brian and Danny got on stage, and they played as a 6-piece band, and that's the best they've ever sounded. And yeah, they did some Ninja Sex Party songs, and then they actually wound up doing some cover songs for an album that they're releasing March 4th called Under the Covers, which is going to be a Ninja Sex Party cover album. And he did like Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, and like he slayed that song. And then they ended with the hit. Before they did the hit, they did Take On Me by Aha. And not many things, like, you know something's good when it grips you on an emotional level, and hearing Danny sing Take On Me, he didn't sound like anyone that has ever sang it before him. He made it his own. He made it sound unique. He made it sound powerful, to where when he hits that note, and everybody knows what note I'm talking about, I'm not going to sit there and screech it out here on this video. When he hit that note, and he did it in his own way, it's like it got you right there in the gut, heart area, and you're just like, oh my god, that was amazing. And yeah, it was a goddamn blast. Like, that was one of the best shows I had ever seen, period. Like, not just like, oh, the best one I saw this year. No, that was one of the best shows I had seen in my entire life. I'm pretty sure somebody will put the concert up on YouTube, but it doesn't replace the experience of actually being there. So if you weren't there, you really, really missed out. It was a ton of fun. But let's move on to the next bit. Yes, the Ninja Sex Party Q&A. The Q&A was a lot of fun, absolutely hilarious, with all these people that come up and ask all the different questions and everything. And you get some of the most hilarious answers out of the guys themselves. And then they also had an autograph section, which all the social awkwardness and stuff I was talking about had to do with the autograph session for these guys. And I got up there and I had a chance to like sit there and shoot the shit with them a little bit. I mean, it was only for about a minute or so, but I gave them both my personal thanks, because Danny had revealed that he had a lot of depression issues and stuff back in the day, and it was a lot of the similar stuff that I was dealing with, and in some cases is still dealing with. And I personally thanked him and all that different type of stuff, and that because of him and the positive words and everything that he gave me, hell, I mean, Danny even added me on Facebook. All the uplifting advice and the kind words and the positive energy that he sent my way when I got to talk to him last year, I thanked him for that, because I kind of feel like it added to the success that I've garnered so far within the past year with my Twitch channel. And I was like, yeah, and thanks to you and all the stuff that you told me and everything, I have a Twitch channel that's getting ready to approach 11,000 followers, and you could just see his face just light up with joy. He was so happy to hear that. And that's one of the reasons why, yes, they have a goofy name, their premise is absolutely silly, but you will be hard-pressed to find two guys that care about their fans more and don't want to talk about themselves. They would much rather hear about what's going on with you. And that's one of the big reasons why I love these guys so much. So definitely big shout outs to Ninja Sex Party, Danny and Brian. You guys are awesome. And thank you for definitely taking the time out to talk to me. You didn't have to, especially with the massive line that was waiting behind me. But you took a few extra seconds to really show your appreciation, and for that, you will forever have my gratitude. So thank you so much, guys. Alright, let's move on to, looks like the last slide I have here. Yes! So, Keiji Inafune was at MAGfest. It's a very small bit that I have about this, but nevertheless, I am forever going to be grateful for the opportunity to meet this guy. Keiji Inafune is the creator of Mega Man. He was also the brainchild behind series like Dead Rising and a couple other stuff. He's also the guy behind Mighty No. 9, which we are eagerly still awaiting. And hopefully won't get delayed again. But I got a very, very brief chance to meet this guy. Very soft-spoken. He didn't really say a lot. He definitely seemed appreciative for the turnout that he got for this little autograph signing, and he was very kind enough to let me take a picture with him. And I have a copy of the Mega Man Anniversary collection for the PlayStation 2, and he was very, very happy to sign that and autograph that for me and everything. So this one's kind of short and sweet, just because like my interaction with this guy was literally less than a minute. So nevertheless, I am very happy that I got the chance to experience it. So shout outs to KG and Afune. Now, the last thing I am going to do here is, with every vlog, I talk about what I like, I talk about what I dislike, and then I talk about shout-outs, like friends, family, and other people that I got to see throughout the weekend, and just kind of like, just give them their moment to shine a little bit, and kind of sing their praise. So first up is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, my friend and brother Charles. You know I love you with everything I got, dude. You're going through a lot of personal stuff right now, and you know I am just a phone call away, I am just a text message away. We tend to have very different tastes in what we like to do when it comes to conventions, and I knew you weren't able to really move around a lot. So I certainly didn't want to try and drag you all over Tarnation, because I knew you physically couldn't handle it right now. But anything you need, no matter what it is, you let me know. You know I got your back, dude, and I'm going to be there with you as best I can every step of the way through this process. Next up is my friend Alan. Alan, on the past 2 or 3 MAGfests I've been to, I wind up hanging out with Alan quite a bit. Because like I always tend to kind of lone wolf things. I'm always kind of spotted just walking around by myself, which, I mean, it's not uncommon, but eventually I get bored, and Alan seems to always be the guy I run into. And yeah, let's hang out with Alan, and I always have a blast hanging out with Alan. And real talk, that Venture Brothers thing that we were talking about, we should totally make that happen. That'll be absolutely awesome. Love you to death, Alan. Can't wait to see you again. Little V Mills, you were definitely the MVP of this weekend, and I already sang your praise earlier in the video. I don't want to sing it too much, because then I just kind of sound awkward and stalkerish, and I don't want to do that. So, you were definitely the MVP of the weekend. Thank you again for being so awesome. Can't wait to hang out with you again. Next up is my friend Theo. Theo, God, I haven't seen you in forever. And I only got to hang out with you for a couple minutes, but the couple minutes that I hung out with you was definitely a lot of fun. Can't wait to keep in touch with you, dude, and it was damn good seeing you again. And then my friend Lee. Lee, you're actually fairly local to me, and like we just always have conflicting schedules and everything. But I'm always happy to talk to you. You always comment on things, or you're at least liking things that I put up on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, and you avidly support the channel, and I can't thank you enough for that. So definitely shout outs to you. You hung out with me in the Mega Man line, and that was a lot of fun, so can't wait to do it again, dude. Next up is the group of people that I hung out with at the signing for Ninja Sex Party and everything. Unfortunately, we didn't really exchange names. We exchanged Facebooks. So, the 2 girls and the like 2 or 3 guys that like I was in this little powwow area with, it was definitely cool to meet you. Thank you very much for following and subscribing to the channel. I can't thank you enough. It's always great to meet new supporters, and I hope future fans. So shout outs to you guys. I hope I get to see you again soon. And then next up is the people that I was rooming with. Charles was one of them. I was rooming with him. Charles's mom was there due to some physical and medical difficulties that Charles was having. I'm not going to go into it, but hands down one of the coolest moms I ever met in my life. Just always with a quippy one-liner, very appreciative, always just kind of looking out for everybody. Even though you can handle it yourself, oh, she's just like, oh, don't give me that, and she tries to take care of everybody, and that's really, really awesome, especially at a convention. So I am damn glad that I got to meet you, and I can't wait to see you and Charles both again very, very soon. Next up was Rev and Sian. You were also rooming in Charles's room with us. Sian, you had that sass about you, and someone with a little bit of sass I kind of like. So I definitely enjoyed my interactions with you, and I hope to talk to you again soon in the future. And Rev, you were there when no one else was. Like, I was bored, hungry, and we just happened to run into each other at the same time, and I was like, hey, you want to go get some food? He was like, I know just a place. Let's go check it out. And you introduced me to Nando's, and that place was absolutely awesome. So definitely shout-outs to Rev for that. Last but definitely not least, Tupperware Remix Party and Ninja Sex Party. Tupperware Remix Party, you guys were very, very awesome. You were very hospitable, had no problem walking around and just chit-chatting with the people out on the floor. You didn't stay behind closed doors, and I really respect things like that, especially since staying behind closed doors nowadays at some conventions is the considerably safer option. And you guys were very kind, very welcoming. You let me take pictures and everything, and I can't thank you enough for stuff like that, because pictures mean the world to me, like I've mentioned before. And then definitely Ninja Sex Party. Every time I meet you guys, my spirit gets lifted just a little bit more. So thank you guys so much for that. And overall, like, I didn't stay the full weekend, but that was more because of my feet. That, like, I was like, I can't walk no more. I don't want to sleep on an air mattress anymore. I want to go home. I want to go in my bed. All that different type of stuff. But if my feet could have handled it, I definitely would have stayed a lot longer and just chit-chatted and hung out with people and everything, because, like, I love going to MAGfest. Even with the negative things that I've mentioned, I've missed going to events and MAGfest no matter what. No matter how bad of a mood I'm in or how bad of a time I'm having, I will always find something that will put me in a better mood and make the entire weekend worth it. So if you haven't had a chance, definitely check out MAGfest next year. I know I'll be there. I hope to see you guys there as well. That's going to wrap things up for me. Thank you very much for listening to me just drone on for like a half an hour. But hopefully you found the video entertaining. And if you did, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and leave a comment down below. I'll leave links in the description for all the different things that you can check out for, like Little V Mills, Ninja Sex Party, Tupperware Remix Party, and so on. And, as always, if you want to catch what's going on live, check me out at twitch.tv/Jkun Unleashed. We'll actually be going live again after a brief break of me going to the convention and everything. We'll be firing the stream up again tonight at around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I hope to see you guys there. But, as always, thank you very much for watching, and take care.